Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Gotham Knights. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zarel. Let's get to it. Today we're tracking down Talia in the League of Shadows, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So previously we went to Arkham Asylum to track down, try and figure out what the League of Shadows was doing specifically in Gotham, since we already know kind of what is going on, and we'll get into that in just a moment. So we were able to deduce that their trail went to the cemetery, and so now we are following the trail to get a hold of those ninjas, find out exactly where Talia is at, and have vengeance rain down upon her. So previously, Talia used us to help her take out the court and potentially take over Gotham. Now, we started at the cemetery, but now all of a sudden we're in the Batcave. So, whether it was during the fight with Ra's, or if they had been kind of digging a tunnel, making a way through from the cemetery, I don't know. And we'll probably never know, because honestly, it's not that important, because it's here, and we're going to follow the trail to wherever it leads. And hopefully, it's not a dead end in more ways than one. All right, so we see some of these lanterns that we can use as grapple points, but only if we've already, if they're in the only if they're in the down position. All right, so it was inevitable that the League of Shadows was going to find out that we are coming for them, so they're going to be trying to slow down or stop us, if at all possible. So some of these lanterns are rigged with explosions, proximity mines. So if you do not take it out with a batarang, when you get close, they're going to be set off. So make sure you avoid setting them off when you're close by. All right, now a lot of these fights, they can feel like they drag out, depending on what your level is. Because these guys are all like level 26 to 30, I think, so, or somewhere in that range. So if you are less than their level, it's going to feel like, even if the pattern, the attack pattern that they have is easy enough to dodge or adapt to, it could be it could feel really difficult, and that is hilarious. It can feel like the fights are just going on and on and on forever, because their hit points are scaled to their level, and if you're not in the proper range, which hopefully you are by this time, and this, just to let you know, is the last leg of the main storyline in Gotham Knights, at least at this time. So when you get to this point, just know that you are getting to the end, or basically at the end. So it will invariably take you a while to get to this point. However, once you get through these series of caverns and tunnels and finish what we're doing, and we'll get to that when we get to it, that the main plot line's over. So if you've not taken out the other case file villains, then you'll still have that. But otherwise, it's just night patrols doing the opportunistic or premeditated crimes that are happening in Gotham City to grind out your legendary or gold gear and appropriate mods for each character, and potentially getting those last few ability points to round out your build. So ninjas everywhere, and not a leader in sight. And all of these narrow walkways, I think, are a good way to not have loading screens. You're basically loading while you're going through. When you start getting to this point where you have to grapple on the fly, or fall, as the case may be, you can feel a little apprehensive. And although there are several areas where you're going to get attacked, because you see this like open arena, and you're like, oh man, this is definitely a point of attack or a boss fight or something. You know it's coming. There's other ones that are, you're like, oh, I'm fighting guys here. So it's interesting, I would say. Like this down here, you're like, maybe not. And yes, it's not a maybe, it is a yes. Because it's a relatively small, I would say, small arena for an attack, but not unheard of to try and ambush you, basically. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure what my current level is here. So I could very well be underpowered for these fights, which is unfortunate because it makes it a little bit more tedious, I think, than it has to be. But if you like more of a challenge, and I almost want to put air quotes there because it's not necessarily challenging, because if you know the pattern of attacks for these guys, then it's not necessarily a challenge, it's just they've got more hit points and or you do less damage. I think and you do less damage. Because as your gear score, your power goes up because you've got better gear, either because it's a rarer, has more slots, has more mod chips on it, whatever the case may be, your power goes up, which means that your damage goes up and or your crit chance, your elemental buildup goes up, your health goes up, defense goes up, whatever the case may be, depending on what mods you have and what specific armor and or weapons you have. All right. So a big open cavern. And here's the Lazarus pit. and it happened to be here either all the time or for quite some time, possibly when Bruce was named successor of the League of Shadows, which was some time ago. So now we get the villain monologue, so let's listen to that.
A Lazarus pit can make a mind more malleable, more pliable to suggestion.
Your army's pretty loyal. Why would you need to brainwash them?
Sometimes it's about more than your army. Sometimes it's about having the right general leading it.
Is that an offer? No thanks.
You, like your precious Batman, were never able to save Gotham. I've finally solved that problem.
Bruce?
My father's mind was broken by repeated exposures to the Lazarus Pit. Unlike my father, I used that exposure to free Bruce's mind from his ridiculous oath. And you're right where we need you. Bruce's last test. Then we lead our new league into glory, remaking the world. Defeat this pretender. Take back the city that is your birthright.
Please don't do this.
So Talia has told us that not only has she revealed that she's been using the Lazarus Pit not for its intended purpose, or not only for its intended purpose, but also to make people more malleable or more under her control. And who knows how long that Bruce was in the pit, because he's just oozing Dionysium or whatever combination of chemicals is in the pit. So he's been in there for quite some time, and she's kept him there longer than he has to be because she wants to control him. So if she can control him, Bruce can be, quote, the leader of the League of Shadows, which Ra's wanted, but she really controls the League of Shadows because she controls Bruce. Bruce controls the League of Shadows. So she's basically testing her limits as to how much control she has over Bruce. So if he goes through and kills the Bat Team, that's pretty much proof of concept. Proof is in the pudding, so to speak, that he is completely under her thumb. All right, so now we need to try and stay alive and talk to Bruce. I mean, as we know, the pit messes with your mind because Ra's was brought back so many times. even if it takes just a small sliver of who you are. After hundreds of times, at the bare minimum amount to bring you back, bring that regenerative process back into your body, it takes a toll. And of course, like I said, Bruce has been in the pit for a long time, much, much longer, maximizing that time to produce the desired result. So Talia is bringing down the patriarchy in a very patriarchal way. Forcibly removing any resistance to her claim to power. Oof. So if you want to ensure that this fight is going to be A, fair, and B, not go on for a long time, you're going to want to make sure that you are level 30 minimum. Yeah, and don't step in the Lazarus pit because that does damage you. It doesn't help you out at all. So instead of purely trying to take Bruce out because he's been mind wiped, from Talia's manipulations of the pit, or trying to get him back, bring him to his senses, essentially. Like what she told you is not reality. You need to wake up. You're in a dream and not a very good one. Make sure that you're using your momentum abilities, whichever one works best for the situation. For Bruce, it's with Batgirl against Bruce, it's the multiple attacks. Alright, I think we finally got through to him. Finally. Not only because we almost took him completely out. There we go. Recognition. Or is it a trap?
You're supposed to call me Batgirl.
You're supposed to call me Batgirl, remember?
We're all dead.
You think we'd make it that easy?
So his gauntlets were in the Belfry, or brought to the Belfry, but it looks like he's got
I learned half of it from
his old gauntlets lashed to his arms, or what's left of them, or maybe it's just a makeshift version.
Batgirl. Report.
You were dead. Now you're suffering the after effects of a Lazarus pit. Talia dropped you in multiple times. She's trying to mess with your mind.
Dropped you in multiple times.
How long?
Long enough
How long was I dead? Let's see.
Found the Court of Owls.
By this point, I think it was 20 odd nights.
Yeah. And your Uncle Jacob was the leader.
You can get to this point as quickly or as slowly as you want. If you want to do more patrols and you want to do opportunistic crimes or premeditated crimes, you certainly can. Completing challenges and thoroughly going through the map and looking through the map will help you find a lot of things, Easter eggs and collectibles as well.
Is that what you call this? No thought for what we are to one another. Beloved.
Stay here.
Now, Bruce had called it off with Talia. They had some romantic relationship for a while, and then it was the perfect match and the worst match, both at the same time, because she knew all of his secrets. So it was carefree. He didn't have to worry about when he was around her what he said and how he said it. He could just be himself, and he wouldn't have to worry about her with all the enemies that he's made or Batman's made, because she can take care of herself. So, except for the only problem was that Talia's ideology was not at all compatible with his. Man, the teleports and non-stop attacks of Talia, that is crazy. Once again, same type of single target attacks where you do the most damage and the least amount of momentum. So if you have a single momentum bar attack, because building up your momentum at this point is going to be very difficult. You have to make attacks to get some momentum, and it depends on who you're playing as. Since Batgirl really doesn't have anything that boosts up momentum other than getting a little extra momentum here and there. It's not like Nightwing. If you're playing Nightwing, you eventually get 1 bar of momentum just by waiting. So, and then you can get another bar if you gain a little bit of momentum along the way. So that is great. So in some senses, in situations, feel like Nightwing is one of the better heroes for that reason, because you can use your momentum a little bit more often, even in situations where it's hard to get momentum. So I started off this encounter with Talia with 4 bars, full 4 bars of momentum. Yeah, I don't want to do that. That looks like that would hurt. Her attack pattern is pretty ridiculous, but it's at least it's noble. It's something that you can adapt to. The only problem is that she does attack relentlessly, so it's hard to get in your attacks. And then, of course, trying to do a perfect evade, that's rough. It is really rough to try to get a perfect evade to get that momentum buff, or bump, I should say. And then, of course, all the while, you want to stay out of the Lazarus Pit. You don't want to push her into the Lazarus Pit, or any of them, I should say. It's easy to kind of feel like the ranged attacks are the way to go because of the way that she attacks. Even when it looks like she's like winding up for an attack, her attack actually is still going. She's got that red circle. Oh, there we go. Alright, there's a lot more to it, but this is essentially
Something funny
the end. Don't miss any part of the final battle plus the aftermath. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
With you, Talia al Ghul. Your abomination led us here, and now you and it will die.
You will never bring death to an Al Ghul.
Oh, crap.
Now to end this. I look forward to destroying you. More will come your way. You will fall back, girl. You will never defeat me. Nothing you can do will save you. You will fall, like so many before you. Your efforts are pathetic. I had thought you smarter than this. See my true power. More will come your way. You will not survive this night. Accept this pain. You will... You will fall back, girl. La Napeto. More will come your way. Nothing you can do will save you. You will fall back, girl. Tonight will be your end. Stop fighting, fat girl. I had thought you smarter than this. seems my beloved did train you well.
It is over. Now to our spoils!
Another voice? You guys just don't give up.
Take heart. Your death has purpose. You die, so the court lives forever!
I will never let the court get a Lazarus pit!
Go! Deal with the vermin!
Bruce.
All of you grew without me. Become your own heroes. The knights that Gotham really needed. Together, you're stronger than the Batman ever could be. I'm so proud of all of you. And I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
You might want to run. It was never the criminals of Gotham that scared me. It's you. The rich want more. Politicians who pander to your reckless demands. Police who hurt the people they're supposed to protect. You're not gonna get this Lazarus pit. Because I won't let you.
The Lazarus pit was completely destroyed in the explosion. And with the pit gone, the Court of Owls has mostly disappeared. Without the promise of eternal life, they need to regroup. As for Talia, she's left Gotham entirely. I assume she's planning her next move. She left behind a token force of League assassins. I can't tell whether she's keeping an eye on us or keeping us busy. Probably both. We found what was left of the Batwing. He's really gone. Gotham City needs me. The court will try to pretend this never happened. They need to know that I'm still watching. Exposing Jacob Kane was only the beginning. The Court of Owls is leading a war against the citizens of Gotham City, and it hasn't ended. But their days of lurking in every shadow are over. Because I will find them. And I will drag them into the light. People of Gotham, you deserve to live your lives free of fear. And I promise you, I will fight to make that happen.